And we are live. Welcome to the Redbird Redzone podcast. My name is Jackie. I apologize for us being late. We were waiting on Will, so I will be kicking it off in Will's place for now. I am joined by my lovely co-host. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
To be fair, that was my fault. I totally spaced time. Didn't realize that I was running late getting home. So that's on me. I'm Mac. You can find me on Twitter at AZ Sports Fiend. That's FIEN. And thank you guys for joining us as we talk about the Cardinals 35-31 comeback victory over the Philadelphia fucking Eagles. How was that, Jackie? Was that a good win, or are you mad that we won that game?
I am in the camp of I will never be mad at my team for winning a game because I am a fan of winning teams. Why I'm a Cardinals fan, I don't know, but no, I'm not a fan of draft picks. Like, I don't watch the sport for the draft picks. I watch the sport because I like to see my team do good. So that was a great win, a revenge game for Jonathan Gannon with all the shit that the Eagles fans have been talking since they lost the Super Bowl. That was a very we needed that fucking win for him. And that's how you know the team has bought in, is that you go out there and you get your that win for your coach.
Yeah, and I think that was the Kyler Murray game we've been kind of waiting for. I mean, even though he threw that pick six early in the game, he had 3 touchdowns and 1 incompletion in the second half, and it's the first time since week 4 of 2021. Let me double check. Week 3 of 2021, where he had a completion percentage over 80%. So it was nice to see him back there and finally, kind of have that game. It's his first 3 touchdown game since before his ACL surgery. So to see him back there and guide this team to a win, I'm just happy for Jonathan Gannon. And then Monty Ossenford on the sideline. A lot of people were cracking jokes, because of his facial expression. You could just tell he was nervous. He wanted that win. He wasn't over there. If anything, he looked fucking cold. But I don't think he's tripping. Even though our chances to land maybe Marvin Harrison Jr. Went down definitely a little bit, but still out 4. Anything can happen. So who knows heading into this crazy Sunday that we got ahead with teams sitting, people already having their playoff spots locked up. They're going to be sitting a lot of guys. And so it's going to be madness this weekend in the NFL. So if you're a bettor, be crazy. But, good thing for the Cardinals, I believe Washington is who's Washington facing? Why am I drawing a blank right now? The Patriots are facing the Jets. So that is a winnable game right there if we're looking to maybe hop back up to that number 3 spot.
Yeah. And what's the playoff position looking like for Seattle? So does anybody have to lose and they win for them to go to the playoffs, or how is that looking?
Let's see. Keep talking for a second, and I'll look it up right now. Here are the playoff scenarios heading into week 18.
Well, we've officially been eliminated, so I can fucking care less about these playoffs. But it would be nice to play spoiler and keep Seattle out. It's always
fun. So if Seattle wins, they have to win over us. And then with the win, Seahawks would need the Packers to lose to the Bears on Sunday, and they're in.
Okay.
If the Seahawks and Cardinals tie, Seattle would need a Packers loss and a loss or tie by either the Saints or Tampa to sneak in the playoffs. So, and both those games, Seattle and Green Bay game, the Cardinals and Seattle play at the same time as the Packers game. So that'd be going neck and neck, during the afternoon of the Sunday game. So that's something to look forward to. So obviously you're rooting for us to win again, right? You want to knock Seattle out of the playoffs. That'd be pretty sweet.
That would be pretty sweet. I mean, their fans don't piss me off as bad as they have in the past.
They used to, yeah.
Yeah. But it's always good to beat Seattle. And I feel like we've always had very good luck playing them towards the end of the season. So I'm pretty confident. I'm pretty confident that we will get this win on Sunday. And look who it is. Look who is fashionably late.
Fashionably late? You said 8:45.
No, I'm talking about Colby.
Oh.
No. Mac said.
Yeah, that's on me. That's on me.
Yeah. So Mac was like, "Oh, I'm in," and then everybody in the chat was like, "Where are you guys?" So sorry.
Wait, you just call Will Colby? Is that like an inside thing right there?
Look at the screen, Mac. Look at the screen.
Will, how are you?
Oh, I'm doing all right. I got me a nice Four Loko.
Oh,
how are you guys?
Will is drinking and I'm not.
I like college things, fucking Will. I'll drink to that. I'll drink my Big Wave Kona.
Okay, you fuckers talk for a second. I wasn't gonna drink, but since Will's drinking, Jackie has to drink too.
Yeah, you're not on camera. You're good. I wasn't gonna drink either, and then until I fucking realized earlier today, I hit up our group chat, and I'm like, show tonight, and then I just never looked back on fucking Twitter or our group chat at all until I got home, like fucking 6:15, and I'm like, oh fuck, let me check Twitter. And then there, Jackie and Will are like, yeah, let's go at 6:30. I'm like, fuck. So, but I requested it to push back to 6:45. Then when I realized I didn't need that much time, hopped in here. And so now Will is late. We'll just blame it on Will.
It's all my fault, as per usual.
Any threesomes this week, Will?
No.
Where'd you watch the Cardinal game?
I had the day off, so I watched it from home. Actually, I stopped watching for a little bit because I was upset we were hanging in there. I wanted us to lose.
Get him, Jackie. But she's not back yet. So you want us to lose this week coming up? You don't want. So if we beat Seattle, we knock them out of the playoffs. You don't care about that?
I don't care. I want Marv.
Yeah, I could get him at number 7 if we win, and we have the worst tiebreaker over a couple of other teams. So so it looks like we can fall as low as 7, and we can jump as high as 2, but I don't think Washington's going to be beating Philly. I believe they're playing.
Yeah, but the Pats are going to beat the Jets for sure.
That's kind of what I'm thinking too.
Like the Pats have had a good couple of weeks. And I think they can beat a Jets team that's pretty much given up on the season.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see how the Cardinals are going to come out, man. Cardinals are going to want to knock Seattle out of the playoffs, and Seattle's not that great of a team, so you might be a little more stressed this week heading in than you'd like entering a week 17 when 2 weeks ago we had the number 2 pick. So to see us fall, it would be, a little disheartening. But at the end of the day, I don't think one player really in this draft is going to make or break the franchise. No matter how good, Marvin Harrison is or can be, this team has a lot of holes and needs entering this next year. So Monty Ossenfort's going to have to be on his game because just getting one wide receiver is not going to be enough to change the course of history for this franchise when, you have a defense over here with the least paid defense in the league. And we could probably use up to 8 to 10 starters on both sides of the ball coming up this next year. So, big offseason either way. Jackie, are you back?
I am back.
Will is pissed that we won.
William, why?
Because I want fucking Marv.
Listen, there's gonna be talent there. Chill the fuck out. That you gotta admit though, that was a nice win.
It was a nice win. It was a nice win. Kyler Murray is everything I said he was. He is fucking awesome. He is at his peak a top 10 NFL quarterback. Everybody on Twitter can fucking blow me.
Everybody? That's a lot of people, Will.
That is a lot of people.
The Commanders are playing Dallas, so yeah, they're not going to be beating the Cowboys.
No, but yeah, that was a very awesome win in a very hostile environment.
And fuck Eagles fans. How about that, Will?
Eagles fans.
I admire their spirit, but fuck them.
No, I definitely admire their spirit, but Yeah, no, fuck you. Your team sucks. You're a Jonathan Gannon away from being a competitive team.
AZ owns you bums.
Yeah, they're gonna be a nice one and done in the playoffs. Very overrated.
They're smelling like that Steelers team from a couple of years ago that got decimated by the Browns.
Oof, that was a fun one to watch. I remember that game.
Was that Bross last season or something?
I guess put some for Luca.
You better suck that shit up. Like
it's on the fucking ground.
Like Hoover.
That was my nickname in college.
Hoover?
Yep.
Yeah, good for you. Good for you, Colby.
Real quick, I want to get back to Nick L's comment here because it was kind of on my mind today. But he asks, do you guys think Buddha deserved to be in the Pro Bowl this year?
Yeah. Yeah, I think so.
I mean, stats-wise, probably not. There's, Antoine Winfield, I know his dad came out, started, saying some stuff. But, it's more of a body of work. It's, Buddha went on the IR. He didn't have any really game-changing plays, that we've seen in the past. But, when you're as good as him, like, who the fuck cares? You probably won't be an all-pro. At the end of the day, all pros mean the most. So
it's very fascinating to me that everybody cares about who gets into the Pro Bowl, but nobody fucking watches the Pro Bowl.
They're not even doing it this year, right? There's no game.
Is there not?
I thought it's a skills challenge and flag football or some shit. Which yes, they need to do something with the Pro Bowl to. I like the idea of a skills challenge. I would watch that.
Have it, have like a quarterback throw the longest ball they can. Have a foot race between the wide receivers. Have linemen have like a hot dog eating competition or something. I don't fucking know.
I remember growing up, and they used to have like the QB skills challenge where they were throwing on, moving targets and shit. I remember Favre being in it. But that was probably like the late 90s, and it's crazy how it hasn't evolved. It's more like devolved than anything.
I propose that they need to have every team's mascot in like a Royal Rumble, and then winner gets the first pick in the draft.
Oh, I like that.
I feel like the Jaguars would get it.
But going back real quick to Budda Baker, it's the first time in his career where he did not force a turnover. And then it's also the lowest tackles that he's had in his career, aside from his rookie season. So, I mean, is he worthy by statistical measures? Probably not. But, that's just how good he's been in his career. Potential future Hall of Famer, potential top 3 best defensive player in Cardinal history. As much as I love him, he's never going to bypass Aeneas Williams in my book. Aeneas was way too impactful on, at least during the 90s when he was in his prime, the amount of, defensive touchdowns he's had, and just a playmaking ability and shutting down wide receiver ones that, from Michael Irving and on down the list. So I don't envision anyone on this defense passing him up, but, he could be a top 3 defensive player in Cardinal history, and, good for him. It keeps adding to his accolades, and at the end of the day, he's could be a fringe Hall of Famer.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, statistically, he wasn't having the best year. He hasn't done anything really flashy, but I think it's more so like just the name. Like everybody knows Baker, no one knows that Antoine, whoever the fuck.
Him going on IR so early in the season too, I felt like kind of messed with him a little bit. But I mean, he's bounced back, and he's a warrior, dude. He's the heart and soul of this team and this defense, no doubt.
Also, I will say, a very depressing quarterback duel for the fucking Pro Bowl. What was it, like Tua versus Purdy?
Oh God!
For what, the top vote getters?
Yeah, for a quarterback, yeah.
I mean, Patrick Mahomes, he shouldn't be up there this year. I mean, Josh Allen, statistically, he's got the numbers. I mean, but so do Purdy and Tua.
That's for sure.
What up?
So he's got the interceptions numbers, that's for sure.
Who, Allen?
Yeah.
Would you say he's the number 1 fantasy QB? Sorry, Jackie, what'd you say?
There's no real hot shot quarterback this year.
Yeah, I mean, I said it last week. I'll reiterate. I think this is probably one of the worst years in NFL history.
Yes, and we've been banging that drum for like weeks now. Actually, I take this back. I take it back. You know who the hot shot quarterback in the league right now is?
Lamar?
No,
Kyler Murray, baby.
maybe, but no. Joe motherfucking Flacco. Get him to
From the
ball.
dead. Who would have fucking thought, man?
I know. My dumbass really sat up here weeks ago. Was like, man, the Browns must be in hell if they're fucking pulling Joe Flacco up off the couch to start.
Well, you
and
didn't
benching
know.
a
We
guy
had
that
no
beat the
idea.
Niners.
Yeah, I mean, guy's a former Super Bowl winner, so he brings a little something to that locker room, which obviously that they are rallying behind. But I mean, what can you say when he's had less than 10 starts over the last 5 years or 4 years or whatever heading into this year?
What's your how much you guys want to bet that Jimmy Haslam's going to ask the NFL for an amnesty clause on Deshaun's contract?
Good luck to that. Fuck Cleveland, man.
Yeah.
Fuck Cleveland.
I mean, it's a great story, but
Fuck
yeah, at the end of the
Cleveland.
day, I don't want their ownership to be fucking happy.
Yeah. But we're happy for Joe Flacco.
Yeah.
Good for Joe. Guy. He's older than me. Whew. Damn.
Doesn't it just make you feel like you can get up off the couch right now and just start throwing piss missiles? I'll fucking come out of retirement.
On Christmas, I was throwing for probably about half an hour, 45 minutes with the nephews. I'm like, okay, my fucking arm is hanging. I'm done now. Like, I'll be all-time QB, and then once we take that short break, it's hard to get warmed back up again. But yeah, no, it's at 38 years old to see Joe Flacco come off the couch, man. Good for him. He earned himself a fucking contract next year somewhere.
I know, and not only like coming off the couch, but he's just looking very gunslingerish to me.
Oh yeah,
there's no real gunslingers anymore with quarterbacks.
No, yeah, it's all short passes and mid routes. There's no. I mean, even Mahomes feels conservative this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a lot of bad quarterback play, a lot of injuries, man. And, I don't know if you can, necessarily relate it to the extra game of the season, but I mean, you had another game, and it's just going to kind of water down the league naturally. But it has been disappointing to see the product that's been out there, even though it's been pretty competitive, But it's not what you want to see from an NFL, brand, so to speak.
Yeah, I mean, the Lions are a fun team to watch right now. But
I mean, do you believe in them? Do you really believe in them?
Do you believe in any team, really?
No.
I believe in the Ravens.
I believe in the Ravens.
I believe in the Ravens.
I think we're probably going to see like a Ravens-Browns AFC Championship game.
Ravens will probably lose that first week after their bye. Watch.
And then, like Nick says, that Baker Mayfield's been playing a lot better too. And
Mac, do you think we'll ever see the same argument for that MLB fans have for the bye? Oh, it gives them rust. We just need to
we have seen that. I feel like
we have.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to say. Baseball, that was stupid to have a bye for like a full week. Like, what are you doing here? Like, but football, I mean, you do see it sometimes, but.
See, but I don't buy it because, I mean, you're still going to practice. You're still going to do all that. You're not rusty. You're not. It's not like they're on their couch playing Fortnite for 5 days. They're probably practicing. They're watching game tape. I mean, I don't buy the,
I almost feel like it's more a mental thing. You let your brain just kind of like decompress. It's hard to gear it back up when this other team, they've been fighting for their playoff lives or, win or go home the week prior. So they're in that fucking, mind. I feel like it is just it's more of a mindset thing to switch it on and switch it off, because you want to rest. Like, there's no argument that, resting isn't good for you or whatever. But to me, it's more of a mental thing when you're going up against another team that, is fighting 4 quarters the week before to, if they lose, they go home. I don't know. I feel like that has more to do with it than, physical or being even just rusty. It's hard to quantify. I mean, I don't know.
I didn't even know baseball had a fucking bye week.
They just did it this year.
Oh, I learned something new.
So what do you guys think we're going to do in the draft at this point?
Do you know where we're going to be picking? I mean, essentially, if we're at 4, there's still a chance for Marvin.
There are so many teams that need a quarterback this year. Just off the top of my head, you have, every team that's in the top 3 right now. You have, I'd say the Jets could be looking at a new quarterback because I don't buy, oh, you have one more year of Aaron Rodgers coming off of an Achilles. No, you're going to draft a quarterback if that's your case. Steelers need a quarterback, whether they know it or not. Tennessee needs a quarterback. Minnesota needs a quarterback.
Oh, there's so many fucking teams. Yeah, unbelievable.
This is the first year in ages where you could feel like you can say like, oh my God, there's so many teams that actually need a quarterback.
And that's why the fucking Cardinals are in such a good position having Kyler Murray and where they're at and where in the draft, no matter what happens. Let's say we don't get Marvin. Fucking Austin Fort should be able to trade back very easily, not like very far, but let's say we stay at 4. And
but I mean, honestly, of those 3 teams, say the draft order stays the same: Bears, Pats, Commanders. Which of those teams would even draft Harrison? Any of them would be stupid to do it.
I think Bears would be the most likely to maybe trade back from 1 to either 2 or 3 right there, knowing that the Patriots need a fucking quarterback. They're going quarterback. In all likelihood. Same as the Commanders. I mean, Sam Howell put up some fantasy numbers, but he's not the guy. If you're right there and you don't have a guy who's proven, I think you got to go to the quarterback. So I could see the Bears trading back just a spot or even 2, because if you're the Patriots or Commanders, and let's say you love Caleb Williams and you want to ensure that you get him, and you hear that Justin Fields, that the Bears, their top players, Marvin Harrison, and that they're going to keep Justin Fields and give him some weapons. Why wouldn't you trade up if you're one of those 2 teams? So I do think a trade back scenario would be most likely instead of them sitting there and taking Marvin Harrison. But it is going to be interesting. I mean, Justin Fields, I feel like he's better than about half the league. Maybe not half, but he still has that potential. I don't know if I would give up on him if I'm a Bears fan.
I would. He is a bona fide scrub. He is a bum. He cannot hit deep targets. He's a fucking he's the quarterback everybody
in Chicago. Like in Chicago, we talked about the Windy City, man. You need
someone
to use your legs too.
And I know that. But Justin Fields is the quarterback that every Lamar hater thinks Lamar is.
I mean, they say the same thing about Kyler Murray. Like, if they don't watch the games, and I'm not sitting here watching all the Justin Fields games.
Here's the fact of the matter. Here's the fact of the matter.
What?
2 quarterbacks. One has 16 touchdowns and 10 interceptions. One has 16 and 9.
That would never work with the egos.
No, I'm saying these. I'm comparing 2 quarterbacks here.
Okay.
There's a quarterback with 16 and 10 touchdown interception ratio, and there's a quarterback with a 16 and 9 touchdown interception ratio. 16 and 10 is Gardner Minshew. Justin Fields is 16 and 9. Do you want a guy whose statistical equivalent is Gardner Minshew to be the guy you choose over a generational prospect like Caleb Williams? No, fuck no.
Is he generational? Like, the only generational player I see is Marvin.
I mean, that's the line everybody uses for Caleb. He's the guy you don't miss on.
Justin Fields has been there 3 years. He has 130 sacks. I don't know how many guys are going to win with that.
Tough shit. I mean, good quarterbacks overcome that shit.
If that happens to Caleb Williams, is he going to be crying to mommy in the stands?
I don't fucking know. Let's leave that to him. Let's let him be the guy. All I know is that the Bears have had 3 years of Justin Fields. They have nothing to show for it. His best seasons this year, and he's putting up fucking 16 and 9. That's bum shit. I'm sorry. That's not worth keeping. That's not worth rallying behind and trying to build around.
Plus, they had turmoil. Like, at the beginning of the season, there was like some locker room drama. So it's like, do you really want to
add on to the fact you already have a fucking phenomenal number 1 in DJ Moore?
Yeah.
Why would you add another star wide receiver to the mix when you desperately need a quarterback.
I don't think a quarterback solves their woes there necessarily, but
I mean, they're not going to draft fucking that kid from Penn State at 1. They're not going to trade down to draft that kid. They're going to draft a quarterback if they draft it at number 1.
It'll be interesting. I mean, DJ Moore's having a really good year, so I mean, he's shown that he hasn't had any weapons fields until this year, and he's 5-7 this year. So I don't know. You've got kids 24 years old. I'm not going to rake him over the coals like some people do, but he still has a couple of years. He still has another year or so or 2 on his contract. So it's going to be interesting to see how they play this. Me personally, I wouldn't buy into Caleb Williams or Drake May. That's just me. I would garner more assets, even if they don't go Marvin Harrison. Trade back a little bit more and keep getting assets because that's just not a very good team. Their defense is, has been playing a lot better. And they've won 4 out of their last 5 games this past month. So, yeah, I mean, they're in a pretty prime spot no matter what they do. They've had Justin Fields long enough to know whether they like him or not.
By the way, that Texans pick we have at, I guess it's 17 now. I don't buy that we keep that. I think we move up with that one. My thought process is we trade into the upper 10s with trading that with a 3rd, our highest 3rd round pick, and say a 5th. Don't know who we draft, but I feel like we trade up in that pick.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't think we've seen Monty trade up yet, so it'll be interesting to see. With all these picks, I mean, we could trade back even from 4, or like you said, trade up and get. We have 6 picks in the top 3 rounds, so a lot of choices. Jackie, how are you doing over there? What are you drinking?
I made what I like to call a little drink called dumb bitch juice.
Get you fucked up.
God, this shit tastes awful.
Yeah, no, it's basically just a Diet Coke with screwball whiskey.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm having a Four Loko USA flavor.
What does it taste like? Freedom?
Cracker.
Tastes like regret.
Does it taste like ham?
Tastes awful.
You have a award this week, Jackie?
Yeah, I do have an award to give this week.
Ooh.
It's been a very hard year to find week in and week out, seeing our team be so dog shit, to find a shining player, a big dick player. But this was kind of a hard week to choose my big dick player of the week.
Pun intended.
Because there's a lot of big dick going around.
STD free big dicks just swinging.
But I'll have to pick one. So I'm going to go with our boy, Kyler motherfucking Murray. You are my big dick player of the game.
We need to have an award.
We also need an inverse of this. We need the micro dick player of the game.
Oh, okay. Then who would be your micro dick player of this game?
Philly fans.
Michael Wilson for not getting that route right.
What? No, he finished fucking great. That 4th quarter was clutch.
He redeemed
I'm just trying to find a negative here. It's hard to find a negative and win this good.
I mean,
I will say though, you take that play out of the equation, and we beat them pretty much hands down. We fucking ran the show against them.
Yeah, I mean, like I mentioned, Kyler had three TDs second half, 1 incompletion, and that was his first 80% completion percent game since week 3 of 2021 against Jacksonville. So, and his first 3 touchdown passing performance since pre-ACL. So this was the game that I've been waiting for. I feel like a lot of us been waiting for. Some people wanted you to believe it was last week for some reason, when he was 24 for 38, 230 with 2 TDs. It wasn't terrible. It wasn't bad, but I feel like this game, the way his composure when we went down early was the most impressive thing that, I've seen from him this year to hang in there, his stick-to-itiveness, as they would say. I'm just happy for him, Gannon, Austin Fort. Especially Gannon. Good for him to go back there and get that win because he hears all the fucking shit. Not all of it, but he hears chatter coming from Philly.
Yeah, and also kudos to Kyler Murray for staying with Michael Wilson the rest of the game instead of just, okay, well, you fucked up and now I'm just not going to look your way. Hi, Joe. But
what's up, Joe?
Yeah, it was just a not that everything was like super firing on all cylinders because it was kind of like back and forth for a little while, but that was impressive. That the fact that we didn't punt the whole game.
I think the stat I read for that was it was the first time we went without punting in a game since the 2006 game against the Vikings.
Good Lord!
Wow. Yes, I saw that.
But going back to Michael Wilson, just for how well he started the season with Josh Dobbs. He was at one point 9, 12, 14. He was 12 for 14 in his receptions with him through the first 4 weeks. So it was a little disheartening the previous 2 weeks against Chicago and San Francisco that he had no catches. He was 0 for 7 on the targets being thrown his way. And to your point, Will, for Kyler, I called Jackie Kyler, but to your point, Jackie, for him to just keep sticking with Michael Wilson after that. Him running the wrong route or whatnot on that pick 6 and him coming through in the clutch, at the end of the game there. That was something that you love to see. And hopefully it carries over to next week and we can see it, that chemistry keep building heading into an off season where Michael Wilson really is the only guaranteed guy to have a really rotation spot from that
Dortch.
But we've been saying that for fucking 3 years now. When is a coaching staff going to give Greg Dortch the opportunity right out the gates? So, I would love that to happen. And shout out to Greg Dortch, man. He made a hell of a fucking catch. Was it on the 3rd down laying out for it?
Yes.
On that fucking last drive too. So, I would love to see Greg Dortch have a starting spot too. But with just so much, cap space that we have and draft picks, it's going to be interesting. At the very least, Greg Dortch is going to be, should be here returning kicks, and hopefully he does get a deal done to stay in the Valley because, aside from Gardeck, I feel like he's got that. Him and Gardeck are kind of both in that same boat where it took Gardeck being an undrafted free agent. Now him finally here in his 5th year or whatnot, coming into a starting role, to start the season. And they had to earn every, step of the way. They had to earn everything, him and Gardeck and Dortch. So, shout out to both of them. And Gardeck over here leading our team in sacks this year. And, hopefully he's here, whether we bring in another edge, which I expect us to, definitely do at the very least one edge guy. But, hopefully Gardeck's here as well. He's at the very least, he's a great rotational piece, and same with Greg Dortch if he's not starting right out the gates.
My sister was talking to me. Where she got this information, I'm not quite sure. I'm gonna guess and say it was probably like the local radio. But she was saying that the reason why Dortch doesn't get the looks is because he has trouble memorizing the plays.
Like who?
I don't know. I haven't heard that.
She didn't say where she got that from?
Because she's like, I think you were telling me. I'm like, that was not I.
Yeah, I'd be hesitant to really believe that. That's interesting. I wouldn't see why he would have trouble learning the plays. It is a new system, so maybe that's one thing. I could see that, I guess.
But that's been over the span of a couple of years. It's not just this year thing that he's not getting look.
But right. He's just been our
last year we had D-Hop and stuff too, and Hollywood you bring in. So but this year was definitely a little confusing why he didn't have a little bit bigger of a role entering the year with the wide receiver core that we had.
Yeah.
Why it took so long for him to finally get there. And he's looking like a guy that should be, he should stick. And he's only 25 right now, too. He feels like he's been around the league, with us probably longer than he has. This is his third season with us. It feels like he's been here, at least 5.
God, it's his third season with us. That's insane.
I know that is pretty crazy, but I'm happy he's here. I'm a big fan, and I do hope that we get something done with him, that he stays longer.
We haven't brought up DJ Humphries yet. Him hitting.
I know, it's 35 minutes in. Shit.
Tearing his ACL, and at the very least, you can't rely on him to come back next year. You can't go into next season expecting him to come back. And to be honest, I mean, it's a decent sized loss, but I don't think it's as big of a loss as a lot of people make it out.
The thing I've heard about him,
Harris Johnson, to start moving over and start fucking his career at left tackle and never look back.
Mm-hmm.
The thing I've heard about Humphries is that if we get rid of him, I don't know if it's a post June 1st thing, but if we cut him, we get $8 million cap relief.
Yeah, I forgot what it was, but it will free up a nice chunk of cap if we cut him.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of surprised that, I don't know. He's a guy from the previous regime as well that I really didn't expect to be here very long. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, but he is the longest tenured Cardinal by a mile, and it's just shocking.
Is that what he really is?
I'm pretty sure. I don't know who else it would be.
Over Buddha?
Yeah, because Buddha was what, 16, 17? He didn't play for us in the championship game.
Hump was a rookie in the championship game?
Pretty sure, yeah. I think he was drafted in like 14 or 15.
14 or 15? He's not 10 years in the league.
I swear to God, it feels like he's been
do the Googling.
Huh?
I said someone get on the Googler.
Oh, yeah. So he drafted 2016. Buddha was
17.
17, you're right. Interesting. Yeah, and I mean, there's going to be a lot of turnover, and whether DJ Humphries has played his last snap, I think he's been a good Cardinal, man. He was drafted very high and it took him a while to kind of get his footing. But it just kind of feels like after he really got paid, he hasn't taken that next step to be like an all-pro type. So whether, it's his last time here, I wish him the best, a speedy recovery, but no way in hell should we, this franchise, be waiting for him when he gets back, or expecting him to be back and be a contributor next year.
When the news came out, I misread the headline. It's like, oh yeah, he's going on IR, and it's like, damn, that's really late in the season to be going on IR. Why would they even do that? And then I heard later, like, oh, it's next year's IR. It's like, they can do that.
They can?
I guess, yeah.
Interesting.
I guess if you already know, yeah. I didn't know that you could put him on next year's IR. Interesting.
But yeah, it's weird. We're basically in the same situation we were 5 years ago, but we have a completely different outlook on it. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah, because somebody named Steve Keim is no longer our fucking, what's it called, GM.
Oh, I know why. I just think it's funny looking back and just how hopeless that Wilkes year was and just how depressing it was.
Yeah, and we have a franchise quarterback that helps a lot. It sucks when you're picking that high and you're forced to fucking basically pick a fucking quarterback. Like, we're in a great spot right now. Whether we land Marvin Harrison or not. With all the picks that Monty Austinfort has at his disposal, and to have a franchise quarterback where you don't have to worry about that. And there are a lot of, like you mentioned, there are a lot of QB needy teams. So I wouldn't be surprised if we do even trade back a little bit, just keep fucking garnering more picks, whether it's, a couple picks this year, in the second round or whatnot, even the first round. I mean, if you could trade back a few picks and you get that team's first rounder plus a second and another third or something, whether it's next season or when, this draft, that's huge. You just keep building the culture. And that's why I think this win was so important too. You need to have 3 wins under Kyler Murray's belt when we were 1-12 or 1-11 without him. I mean, unequivocally, he is the franchise quarterback. Whether people like it or not, he's gonna be here. I think
next year. Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, even fucking beyond.
And yeah, like at minimum 2 years, he's gonna be here. So get fucking used to it.
Yeah, I mean, nobody bought Jonathan Gannon when he said at the beginning of the season that Kyler was their guy. But I mean, Kyler has. I mean, we already knew going in that he was that guy. But Kyler has proven to the unknowing people that he is that guy, and Jonathan Gannon doesn't look like a fool.
I mean, I've had question marks. I think any fan who just buried their head in the sand, if you didn't, him yelling at Cliff on the sideline, that's not good. All these reports coming out, and people can hate on Beachum, but Beacham's not going to say something like he said last year where Kyler needs to be a better leader without it being true. He's not a guy who just yaps out them. He's not a Patrick fucking Peterson. But there's been a lot of smoke around Kyler, whether it's the study habits, whether how personable he is with the teammates, how willing he is to learn and either get under center. But the biggest thing for me this year that I have seen is he seems more poised and in control of everything. He seems like an actual leader. I've never looked at him as a leader, even though to me, the biggest leader on your football team needs to be the quarterback. Because if they don't believe in the quarterback, you really don't have no chance in the NFL. So to me, even though while I feel like he has came out and sure he's been a little rusty, and with how well he has played, specifically the last couple of weeks, I'm still most impressed with his poise, the way he seems to be. He just feels different. The way he talks, man. We had there was a big loss. Who did we get blown out by with Kyler?
The Rams.
The Rams.
And the way he came to the podium and he spoke, it felt like this is his team. He wasn't tripping, He was like, I got to be better, to have a fucking chance. And just the way he spoke and his calmness. Like it feels night and day different. And when you do lose those training wheels, you lose a GM that drafted you. You lose the fucking head coach who was specifically brought in,
for you.
Whether they want to admit it or not. Yeah, for you. And they're gone. And now, all of these revolving pieces coming in and out, specifically out of the Cardinals roster, with a new GM. Look how much turnover we fucking had. So he could have gone one or two ways. And, Kyler has always wanted to win. I just don't think he has really learned how to accept failure to a level that you probably need to in the NFL, especially when you're coming onto a team in a franchise like the Cardinals, who have been, a shit show for aside from Bruce Arians, Michael Bidwell has not made it easy on his players, his coaching staff, his, GMs. But just impressed by Kyler, more than just on the field. To me, that has been the biggest thing that stands out. And that is what separates real franchise quarterbacks from just quarterbacks who are just playing out, playing their game on the field.
And that's what he needed. He needed a little adversity to really, to put into perspective that nothing in this league is guaranteed, and you've just kind of coasted on your just raw talent. But now you have to really buckle down, learn the playbook. Not only learn the playbook, but you gotta
you have to be the playbook. Yeah.
Yeah. You are the guy now. You are the face of a franchise. You have
because I mean, think about it. When you're 22, 23, 24 years old, that's a huge responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
Not everyone grows up the same way. Not everyone develops linearly. It's a process, but for just what I feel like I have seen from him off the field, his maturity has grown bounds. And that to me is the biggest thing. Just as much as him coming out and, and throwing 3 TDs and 1 incompletion in the second half against Philly. It's bigger than that, and to me, the coaching staff, the GM, all these new fucking people in the regime, they have seen Kyler from day one. They've heard probably all the talk and chatter from last year. And how ironic is it? And Jackie, we've talked about this. We all have talked about this. How ironic! There's no more leaking reports coming out ever since Kime's gone. How ironic!
Exactly. There's no more
weird, and he doesn't have that shit hanging over his head. He doesn't. Like, he's able to be free now, and be able to grow into the player that he is supposed to be and that he wants to be. But yeah, funny how none of this fucking chatter is happening this year. And who's the main guy gone? Who's the culprit? Big old fucking fathead.
And we talked about it, that there's been rumors that he was the one that would talk to.
It seems pretty obvious.
Yeah.
And what do drunks like to do the most?
Talk.
Talk.
Yeah. Hey, Steve. Hey, what's up, Schefter? What's going on, Shefty? Oh, let's go to the bar. Come over. Come on. Fuck my wife. Here's some more alcohol. Fuck my wife some more. Here's some more alcohol. Let's talk. Yeah.
Are we gonna find Steve Kime on the Epstein list?
Jesus.
Him and
I shouldn't be laughing. I should not be laughing, but I'm like 4 big waves down. So,
and I'm feeling kind of loose with this dumb bitch juice.
This dumb bitch juice. Hey, shout out to everyone.
You get me to start fucking talking.
Shout out to everybody in the chat. We appreciate each and every one of you, whether this is your first time or you tune in to every episode. We really, really, really appreciate it. If you haven't liked and subscribed, so the notification comes up on your computer or whatever that we're recording, please do. That helps us kind of climb up the charts a little bit. We love being here talking about our favorite team, trying to do it, weekly. It's been a little hectic this year.
College things.
Yeah, I mean, we've all been going through our own, everybody goes through something, but we've been trying our best to be here every week, and we really, really, really appreciate each and every one of you. So thank you. And, we got one more thing of these to go this year, and hopefully we can join you guys monthly after that, leading up to the draft. And then hopefully be able to do some draft special stuff. Thank you guys. Pat yourselves on the back. We really, really, really appreciate you. So thank you.
Tony,
you guys are the real MVP.
Yeah. Oh yes, I appreciate you all. Tony says, if we don't get Marvin Harrison Jr., what wide receiver one are we getting for him? I imagine we're not close enough roster wise to go after a Mike Evans.
Probably like Odunze.
That's a good one. I mean, it's
he was mentioned earlier in the comments, and I apologize that I appreciate everyone that still comments. I do throw them up on the screen. It's just sometimes it's hard to get to all the comments. If I
could see somebody like, say, T. Higgins being a Cardinal.
Yeah, but he's not a game changer. I'm sorry, he's just not.
He's not.
But like Neighbors could, he could be a guy. How do you like your guy Devontae Walker out of North Carolina? I know you're a big NC guy over there, Will.
I know nothing about him, but I'd like that kid from South Carolina.
Okay, I mean, I typically get more into the prospects and drafts once we start seeing like the Senior Bowl rolling into the lead up of the combine. So that's where I'm going to be typically diving in more. Right now, I'm still, all in on the, NFL season leading up. Suns. I still feel the high from the fucking D-backs World Series. I'm riding the Coyotes over here. Coyotes won 6 of 8, and they're like 19-5 and 3 or 4 or whatever their fucking record is. So right now, I haven't looked too far ahead on the wide receiver rankings or really a lot of other rankings. Kind of let this draft positioning play out first and foremost.
Yeah, I don't like to look at mocks right now. I don't really pay attention to the prospects until free agency's over. Or not over, but you know what I mean, like that first week kicks off.
Yeah.
Until you're fully invested in draft mode.
Yes, and then once that happens, then I'm in draft mode, and that's when I start to look at prospects and their tape and see what they can bring. And so the off season, I love to nerd out over the off season. So I love free agency for me is like fucking Christmas, like just seeing like what new shiny like player we get. And then same thing with the draft, especially like after we draft, and I really like go all in on doing my homework on every player we pick. So I'm really looking forward to the off season, not just because I don't have to watch my team suck it up every week, but just
suck it up every week. Is that a play on words for your Big Dick Player of the Week award, or
the
Hoover?
The Hoover.
The Hoover. Who is the Hoover aside of Marvin Williams and Marvin Harrison in this draft? That's what we need. Someone who's got the hands and the fucking.
And if it's a Hoover, wouldn't it be the mouth?
Well, you just suck them all up with your hands. You're sucking footballs up. You can't suck footballs up with your mouth unless you're doing college things. Will.
Yeah. Well, what are you doing over there?
I took a whole edible once and I got really scared.
Me too. Oh, are we gonna share edible?
Whole edible.
Sign out.
I didn't know you weren't supposed to have a whole one.
Yes. So you're what, 20, 21? You're 20. You're gonna be 22, right?
I am 22.
You are 22. Okay. So when I was your age, same thing. Like, I didn't know that you're only supposed to take a bite of the giant Rice Krispie treat, not eat the whole fucking thing.
For me, it was like an airhead, like a sour airhead.
No, I had a fucking like Rice Krispie treat the size of a brick. And like, so my boyfriend at the time, he's like rolling a blunt. And he's like, yeah, here's this edible. Like, try it. I ate the whole fucking thing. He's sitting there rolling a blunt. Then he looks up like worried. And he goes, did you eat that whole thing? And I was like, yeah, it was really good. Mm-hmm. He goes, you're only supposed to take a bite. I was high for 2 days straight.
I'm a little bit bitch because mine was Delta 8.
Oh yeah.
And if it was one airhead,
I don't even know how many milligrams this Rice Krispie treat was, but I don't know how I had to work. I was working while super fucking stoned.
I can't do edibles. I wake up like fucking like a hangover on it. I'm just like groggy, unfortunately.
Well, that's because you're a senior citizen, Matt.
Wow. All right, ready for pick'ems or what? You just fucking beating me down. Hey, Joe Flacco's older than me, so fuck off.
Yeah, I'm ready to beat your ass, Mac. Who won last week?
Oh, thanks for asking, Will. I beat your ass. Thank you. Me and Jackie came down to the end right there. Let's see what your record was, Will. Let's see. 10 wins? No. 9? No. 8-8. Congrats, college things. 8-8. Jackie,
I'm a regular Jeff Fisher.
I was just gonna say you're just on your Jeff Fisher split.
You are kind of like
I'm Jeff fishing for some pussy. Hey.
Yeah, it's time to go. Jackie is 10-6. I'm 11-5. So Will, let's kick this thing off. We need some music right here. Boom, 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 boom.
We do need.
All right, music. You guys ready for some pick'ems?
Yes.
Just beat your ass.
All right. First game of the week. Saturday at 4:30 p.m. we have Steelers-Ravens. Who do we got?
I'm still going Baltimore, even if they rest their players.
I'm also gonna pick Baltimore as well because fuck the Steelers.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be Pittsburgh.
Of course you do.
So if they win, are they in?
Steelers, they need a couple teams to lose in order for that to happen.
Oh, okay.
I don't have the playoff scenarios in front of me.
They have all the ways to grab a spot. a Steelers win and a Colts-Texans tie, Steelers win and a Buffalo loss, a Steelers win and a Jags loss or tie, a Steelers win and Colts and Texans do not tie and Jaguars lose. Even with the Steelers loss, Colts and Texans do not tie, Jaguars lose, and Broncos win. Steelers are in. Holy fuck.
Yeah, it's kind of fucking ridiculous. I love this time of the year because there's just so many stupid fucking scenarios.
That's
I
ridiculous.
know. I love all these like mathematical odds and shit.
Right.
After that, we have Titans Colts. Who do y'all have?
Colts.
I'm gonna go Indy. Yeah. Even
Minshew Mania, baby.
Minshew was.
Will basically said that Minshew is white Justin Fields.
Yeah, I mean, maybe their throwing abilities. I can see that.
Minshew Mania, baby. It's going to be the Colts.
We all pick Indy.
All right. Your first game of the Sunday slate, you have Falcons Saints. Who do y'all have?
So both of those games were on Saturday?
Yeah.
Give me the Falcons.
I'm going New Orleans.
I do not trust the Falcons for a second. It's going to be New Orleans. This is an important game. Whoever wins this one, if the Bucs lose somehow to Carolina, they are in.
All right. Well, I got New Orleans.
Give me one sec. It's loading for. After that, we have Jags Titans. Who do y'all have?
Going Jags.
Wait, Jags and who?
Titans.
You already said Titans, I thought. Indian.
Yeah, who did the Colts play then?
No,
you said Indian Titans were playing.
Indian Texans. I meant Indian Texans.
Oh, see, this changes everything.
Yeah, what the fuck?
All right, take that back. I'm gonna go the Texans beating the Colts, and then I'm gonna go the Jags beating the Titans.
Thanks, Will.
I'm sticking with my Indy vote.
Yeah, I'm gonna just stick with Indy too. Fuck it. So
Jags beat the Titans.
Jags and Titans. Okay, we all go Jacksonville. All right.
After that, we have Vikings Lions. Who y'all have?
Detroit. Gotta go Detroit. Minnesota. They're a fucking mess. They have no idea what they're doing at quarterback.
I'm also gonna say it's the Lions.
I mean, I bet they rest their starters this week. There's not. I don't. If I remember right, they don't have a lot of ways to actually move up their seed. I think it's going to be. Better. I think it's going to be Minnesota purely because Detroit's focusing on the next week.
You look like a Viking.
After that, we have Jets Pats. I think we're all in agreement on this one, but let's hear it anyway.
No, you don't know that. I am going New England. Big Pats fan. Big Pats fan. And can I say I do not think Belichick will be gone. I feel like I'm the only person. I do believe that. I mean, if I am ownership and I have Bill Belichick, you have to give him two quarterbacks, not just one chance at a quarterback. Can't just say, okay, your first quarterback after Tom Brady if you don't hit. And I know he has fucked up with his coaching.
But he has had to.
Hires, huh?
He has had to.
Who?
Cam Newton.
Cam Newton? Before he retired?
Yeah. No, he had him for a whole season.
Okay. Like before I'm talking about two young quarterbacks that you can fucking like grow into, like two franchise type quarterbacks. Did Cam Newton get a job after that?
With Carolina for like 2 games.
Oh, again. Okay. Yeah, I still think, I mean, what he did there, and I'm sure it was probably obviously more Tom Brady, but still, Belichick's not a bad coach. Just look at their defense, how well their defense have played. I do think you maybe take the responsibility of the coaching staff away from it. You have to do something to where he can't just be having his defensive coach as a fucking offensive coordinator too. Like, what are you doing here? Like, that makes no sense. You're fucking senile at that point. But I would give him another chance at a quarterback right here if I am, whatever the fucking rub and tug guy owner his name is. Who you got, Jackie?
Kraft.
Yeah.
The Jets.
Ooh. She said, "Fuck you, Will."
Yeah, Will, fuck you.
After that, we have Panthers Bucks.
Give me the Bucks.
Yeah, I'm going Tampa.
I think I've given my vote to the Panthers this year more than I have the Cardinals.
You gonna pick them again?
Yep.
You like the reverse jinx. Good job. Or the jinx.
After that, we have Browns. After that, we have Browns Bengals. Bengals are out of the playoff race.
I'm still going Cleveland.
Yeah, give me Cleveland.
Give me Cleveland.
That defense is legit, and Flacco playing this week, yeah.
After that, we have Bears Packers. Who do we have?
Give me the Packers.
Give me the Bears. They've won 4 of 5. They've been showing a little life.
The Bears are what, 7-9 now? Right?
I don't know if they're that good. Maybe.
They have either 6 or 7 wins. I think the funniest way to cap off this bullshit ass season is if they get 8 wins. So I'm gonna have the Bears beat the Packers.
Yeah, the Packers aren't good, but just I feel like Jordan Love has had his ups and downs, but it's just been the whole NFL up to this point, just pretty mediocre football around. You look around the league, so many 8-8 teams, 9-7, 7-9 teams. I mean, in the NFC alone, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You got 8 teams that are 7-9 through 9-7. I mean, it's just fucking ridiculous. A lot of average football.
Absolutely.
You got Will. You got Green Bay. Yeah, sorry.
No, I had the Bears.
Okay. Talking shit on. Anyways, go on.
After that, we have Eagles Giants. I think we're across the board here, aren't we?
Giants.
Oh, go New York, go New York, go!
Go New York, go New York, go!
That would be big. That would.
Giants, baby.
Let's go. Let's go. That'd be one team that we cannot get behind. So, which is bullshit. Cardinals with the strongest strength of schedule that anybody we're tied with, we get the worst draft pick. So, Giants are one of those 5-11 teams right there. Philly, if they lose to the Giants and they're playing Hurts and everything, I want to see that. But I am going to go Philly.
I think Philly makes an example out of them. I think we're going to see a beat down. It's going to be Philly. After that, we have Rams Niners. Who do we have?
Rams or Niners wrestling folks?
I mean, I don't see why they wouldn't be. They got the 1 seed locked up.
Yeah, I'd imagine probably McCaffrey.
Rams are playing good ball. They need a fucking. What do they need to make the playoffs too.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick the Rams. I also would like to point out that as much as it's fuck the Niners, I thought it was cool that they were like the videos of them cheering us on.
Who?
The Niners. Did you see those videos?
No.
They were like somebody was watching our game on the phone, and Debo and Kittle were like, "Go Kyler, go Kyler!"
Nice, that's dope.
And then the rest of the locker room was like watching the game on TV.
Yeah, they wanted that number 1 seed. Good.
Yeah, cheering.
It's good to see, even though fuck them too.
Yeah.
Nah, fuck them, period. I don't care that they're cheering. After that, we have Broncos Raiders.
Do we all pick the Rams there?
Yeah.
I'm going to go Raiders.
Yeah, I'm going Raiders. Raiders playing some, pretty inspired ball.
I like how every year, like when the Raiders fire a coach, like they play inspiring football, and then they don't rehire that coach, their interim head coach.
Yeah.
The Raiders are going to bring in Deion Sanders.
God.
Oh, God. That would be a very Raiders move.
That would be a huge Raiders move. Yeah, typical.
I've got the Raiders there. Broncos showed their hand weeks ago when they said they weren't going to play Russ anymore.
Right.
They can go fuck themselves. Fuck Sean Payton.
Big Russ fan.
After that, we have Chiefs Chargers.
Even without, is Kansas City resting players?
I have no idea.
I'm still going.
They get the AFC spot by default because the Broncos gave up.
Okay, yeah, I'll say it's the Chiefs then.
True. Yeah. I mean,
Chiefs. Cowboys Commanders.
Oh, I love a Commander win, but that is not going to happen unless, the Cowboys aren't resting. They're fighting for that division. So, gotta go Dallas.
Yeah, I'll say Dallas.
Unfortunately.
I'm a Sam Howell believer, baby. It's going to be Washington.
This is why you have Sunday in 3 years, Will.
Fuck you. Next, finally, for Sunday Night Football, this is a fucking phenomenal game. We got Bills-Dolphins. What do you got?
In Miami?
I do not know.
I'm going to say it's the Bills.
I'm going Buffalo as well.
I'm going to have Miami. All of this leads us to Sunday at 4:25 Eastern, 2:25 Arizona time. Your Arizona Cardinals versus the latte sipping, Nirvana listening, computer using Seattle Seahawks. Who do y'all have?
Give me the Cardinals. 27-13.
I'll go Cardinals 24-20.
I'm going to have the Seahawks 30-24.
What?
That's Will. Big Starbucks guy. Big grunge music guy. I can see that.
I'd love going to the fish market. It's just so nice. I drive a Prius,
Does it come with a box of tampons?
Two boxes.
All
right, folks. I think we've been over here an hour. Will's been on just an hour. So, yeah.
Will, are you drunk?
I had a sip and then didn't want any more.
You're fucking hammered.
Tony Height says Buddha gets 2 INTs this week. This would be like the last game. Like it would be a very like
Buddha Baker thing to do.
Game.
Yeah.
In Washington too. So
no,
we'll see. I hope so. And I want everyone to calm the fuck down. He had tweeted something like, "This is the last ride." He's obviously talking about it's the end of the season. He's not going anywhere.
Just signed a contract extension.
Yeah. Everyone's like, "Oh my god, is he going somewhere?" No. Last game of the year.
You're going to Cancun, motherfuckers.
Yeah.
I mean, isn't it? I mean, Buddha played at Washington, right? Didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. So there you go.
Yeah.
It's a big thing for him.
Yeah.
All right.
Playing the Seahawks because he went to Washington?
I don't know, I guess.
In the playoffs.
All right. You guys want to close out?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
This has been another phenomenal episode of the Redbird Redzone podcast. My name is Will. You can find me on Twitter at LiveOnThatSwing.
And I'm Jackie. You can find me on Twitter at JSanDiego. That is with 2 O's. And it looks like Mac just said, "Fuck y'all, I'm out," and just abruptly left. So, bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, Elvis has left the building. Peace